and who you are and what it is. Okay.
Hi, my name is Stephen Appiah, footballer from Makati, Ghana national team.
Stephen, tell us when your football career began.
Well, it started at the age of 10 when I started running my football career.
Tell us, when did your football career begin?
My football career began at the age of 10 when I started running out from school. I have this friend called YZ. One day he told me that we should run out from school. So we ran out from school and we went to a park called Salvation. When we got there, there were a lot of kids playing football. So I took off my school shirt and I joined them. So after playing with the kids, there was a man standing like 100 meters away. He called me and he said that they have a coach team, so if I can join the coach team. And I said, why? And he said, yeah, because you were a good player. I can see that you were a good player. I went back home and I told my mom, I was living with my mom, my dad was away. And I said, Mom, I think I don't want to go to school anymore, I want to play football. So my mom was like, are you joking? That's not going to happen. I said, no, I want to play football. So when they sent me to school, I always run up from school and go and play football. I joined this coach team called Mighty Victory. I was playing under 10 with them, and then they saw that I was good, so they promoted me to under 12. So I was playing under 12, then under 14, then from under 14 I moved to the national team, 95, when we won the under 17 national team, world national team in the Equator, yeah, sorry. When we won the cup, yeah, there it started.
When was your first trip outside of Ghana? Can you describe your experience?
I think my first trip was when we went to Ecuador. The team traveled without me. They left me behind. I was sick that time when they traveled. So I traveled with one of our delegates. We traveled to Oberhausen in Germany. What I remember was it was my first trip traveling with plane. So when we were traveling, I started vomiting in the plane. So I think that is one of the experiences.
Share with us some of the international teams that you played for.
International team that I played. My first team was Indonesia. I played in Indonesia for 3 years. From Indonesia, Parma. I played Parma for 2 years. From Parma to Brescia. I played Brescia for 1 year. Brescia to Juventus. I played Juventus for 2 years. Juventus to Fenerbahce. I played Fenerbahce for 3 years. And then Bologna for 4 months. Cesena for 1 year. And last season I played for a team called Bologna in Serbia.
Now, out of all the teams that you've played for and the countries that you've been, which would you say is your favorite and why?
Well, my favorite team and country is I think Italy, because I spent all my life in Italy, even when I was playing in Turkey, Fenerbahce. I think I don't have best year because I always give everything that I can do in my profession. When I signed for Indonesia, I started playing with the young team, so I couldn't get a chance to play for the senior team, the first team. I played the young team for 6 months, and then they promoted me to the senior side. There I started playing. I played all the games. Parma, it was a little bit difficult because at that time it was very tough in my position because we have all the stars. Buffon was our goalkeeper. We have Cannavaro, we have Benarigo, we have Sensini, we have Lilian Thuram, Almeida, and Milford, Bogosian. All yeah, the, the world-class player, so it wasn't that easy for me. I played a couple of games. So from there I moved to Brescia on loan. I think Brescia was the moment that I explored. Yeah, I played all the games, I scored 8 goals. I played with Guardiola and Roberto Baggio from Brescia to Juventus, so you understand what I mean.
You did an amazing job during the 2006 World Cup as captain of the national team, and then again you were in the 2010 World Cup. Describe that experience.
Well, talking about World Cup 2006, it was unbelievable. It was a dream comes true because Ghanaians were waiting for that moment after 48 years. I can say that we were not the best team, but I think that in everything we do with unity, I think you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. It wasn't easy. It was tough because 24 million population, you were chosen to be the captain. You have to stand in front of the team. I think I'm a lucky guy because when they appointed me as a captain, I started thinking that what should I do to succeed? Some people take it personal that they enjoy the lifestyle of the leader of the band, but I think that it's just a band. You can even enter the field warming up, you can get media, someone will take the band, so it's just a band. But the most important thing is I started thinking that to succeed with this role, you have to unite the guys. And trust me, I don't talk much when I'm in camp. You will see them do. Nobody. I captained the team for 9 years. I've never had a problem with a player. Never ever. Somebody will be doing something. I will just look at you and you stop, and you will come to me and you say, "Oh, sorry." You know, because I show them respect and love, and they did the same thing to me. 2006 World Cup, when we qualified, people think that, okay, Ghana, you haven't been there before, so maybe we are just going to participate in the tournament. But we went there, we proved to the world that football, we don't play names anymore. It's all about the passion, focus, aggressive determination. We went there and we were the only Africa team who went to the next round. So it was something unbelievable.
There's a picture of you, and you're there with him, and you what were you saying?
No, nothing. That's the way you can see answering your question. I always make gestures and all that. That's the way I am when I'm talking to people. I used to point fingers and stuff like that, but people take it in a different way. I think that I will never do such a thing because if you do such a thing, you're going to put the player down, his moral down. I went to him and I said, don't worry about you missing the penalty. Let's go in, we have 30 minutes to play for the extra time, prove it to everybody, score a goal, and everything is done. So I went to him, I could remember Morgan, and I told him that, bro, don't worry about missing the penalty. You have 30 minutes to play extra time. Just prove to everybody, score your goal, and nobody is going to say anything. So he said, okay, Kabi. And I remember he was the one who took, after the extra time, it was a penalty shootout. He was the first player who took it. I went to him and I said, listen, I can see that you relaxed now. Go there, play and score. And he scored and he came to me. That's what I told us on Wajan.
Tell us about your...
I started after the World Cup 2006. I was in town and there were a lot of people talking to me saying that they want jerseys. So I started thinking that what can I do for the people? And so I got this idea. I love fashion. I've been in Italy for so many years, so I follow fashion a lot. So I said, okay, because I wanted to give something back to the community. I said, let me do a fashion clothing line to help charity. So we came out with Step Up. We did some T-shirts, caps, bags, and trainers, and it went well. It went well. We stocked them in some of the shops, and the money goes to charity.
What are some of the
Games. I remember when I played my first game in Juventus. We played Super Cup finals in America against AC Milan. That was the first trophy I won with Juventus, and it wasn't easy because knowing all the world-class players there, I was so lucky to get the chance to play all the league matches, all the Champions League matches, and I think that is one of the most memorable games. Um, Against South Africa. Against South Africa, I remember when we beat South Africa 2-0 in FNB Stadium. Now they turned it into Soccer City. They haven't lost a game there since they started playing. And that time it was like this, all the time South Africa they were beating Ghana. We couldn't beat them from under 17 to the senior national team. They always beat us. So I remember we played in Kumasi. We beat them 3-0. I scored 2 goals, and we went there, and the fans and the crowd they were trying to scare us. I remember when we got to the field warming up, so we saw this music and people were dancing on the pitch. So I called this and I said, "Charlie, the feeling here is nice." And they said, yeah, we can feel it. So we started dancing and warming up, and the game started and we beat them 2-0, and it was, I think, that qualifier us to the World Cup. Yeah.
So, Ghana is a country that is incredibly passionate about its soccer. I mean, it seems as if you're not just a
Pressure, I've never ever felt pressure in terms of playing football, because I think that football is the most easiest way. Why am I saying that? Because we are 11 on the pitch, 1 goalkeeper and 10 players. You get the ball, you have to give it to your mate or your colleague or whatever. So it's simple. So when I'm going to the field, that's what I have in mind. I get the ball, even if it's absent, I will give it to my colleague. But if you want to put pressure on yourself, you get the ball and you wanted to dribble, you wanted to force yourself to do certain things, then the fans maybe they will start shouting and you put pressure on yourself. I think that some players, honestly, before games they can't even eat. But I think that we have different characters, because I take it so easy as I explained. We are 10 on the pitch, I get the ball, I give it to my colleague, that's it. So I never put pressure. Let me be honest, when we played against Cape Verde, in Cape Verde, that was the last game. That day, I might say that I was a little bit in panic, because I was thinking that we have done a good job, because when we started the qualifiers, we lost our first game against Burkina Faso. From there, we won all our games, so I was like, we have done a good job. And if South Africa win, they will go through and we will. So I was like, this football, today's football, there are a lot of surprises. So although people were underrating Cape Verde, but it's football happening. So I started panicking and I said, these people, they can spoil our party. You understand? I started thinking that we have done a good job. Last game in Cape Verde, if we draw, we lose the game, we are out. South Africa is going through. That was a game that I played with pressure.
So we understand that you are in the process of training to be a coach. How true is this?
Talking about coaching, it's true. It's true, because I always say that I don't want to be a coach after ending my career because I see it as a stress. That's the most stressful job in the world because you have like 25 players and you have to make each of them happy. Those who are playing, they are happy. Those who are not playing, they are not happy. You will see maybe 3 players or 4 players going against you. You can't sleep. You have to think what every day you have to come up with a different style of training. So I think that is a difficult job. But my friends, when we sit down, we talking about football or we watching football, the way I analyze the game, they said that I can be a good coach. Yeah, I took it into consideration. We'll see what we'll see what will happen. It started after the World Cup 2006 right away. I was born in a small town called Choco, and I went to see my old friends. When I got there, there was this massive crowd. I couldn't even get out of my car. So I was sitting in the car looking at the people, and later I drove off. I went back home, I called a friend, I said, I have to do something to my people. I mean, and my friend said, which people? Who? I said, my people from Choco. And he said, why? I said, something happened this afternoon. And it was touchy. You understand what I mean? Because being Stephen Appiah today, they were the ones who helped me to be where I am today. So he said, what do I have in mind? I said, yeah, I think Choco, the problem in Choco is a lot of parents, they suffer going to hospital because they can't afford their bills and all that. So I said, why can't we register 100 people? And my friend was like, yeah, but it's a lot. I said, yeah, I know, but I'm ready to do it. That's why I said 100. And he said, okay, so what are we going to do? I called NHIC, that is National Health Insurance Company. I called them and I booked an appointment. So I went to them and I said, this is what I want to do. So if they can help. So they came and then, yeah, they registered 100 people for free healthcare. Yeah, we started from there. And then in the neighborhood, we have Mankovic and Soma and Choco. They are close to each other and we have a lot of talents. So we came up with this idea about Step Up Sports Day that we play every year. And it's a year sports event which encourage, educate, and mentor a lot of youth to adapt their healthy lifestyle and promote sports. That's been running since 2007.
So what do you think, like you said, football has changed. Ghana might have started as being...
We are really doing well. And what I like most is the way we united. I noticed that when we played in South Africa 2010, at a point that Africans noticed that there's no African country in the tournament except Ghana. I don't know how to explain it, but because I remember against Uruguay, you can see the atmosphere, the stadium, South Africans, you can see billions or millions of people they are supporting Ghana. That shows how one we are now. And I think that the talent is there. No one can take that from us. Physically we're strong, but now we are good and we go to Europe and we steal their style and we come to our country and we just use it in our country. Because when we go to play football, the coach doesn't tell me that, okay, he gives us some inputs, but I know that when I go, my direction is that he has to stay. when we know the movement. So it's like what we're learning in Europe, we're bringing it to our country. That's why you can see today's football, when we play with the European teams, they find it difficult. It's not like 10 years ago that you go there and they will just demolish you. It's not like that anymore. So I think that the future is very bright. Talking about the on-way, I think that I don't know how to describe it because I'm more than happy because I know that a lot of people, a lot of celebrities, a lot of normal people, they are doing a lot of charity works. M-Clan chosen Stephen Appiah to be 2012 Man of the Showbiz. I think that it tells me something because we are a lot and then I'm the one getting this opportunity. I call myself a lucky dude, and this is going to ginger a lot of people to do more because let me congratulate M-Clan for what they have been doing because if companies doing charity, you don't expect people to notice it. Me, I don't expect people to notice me. I don't expect people to reward me because God touched my heart and I want to do something back. You understand? But if M-Clan is doing such a thing, is a big thing, and congratulate for them if companies are going to recognize or they will appreciate things that people are doing in terms of charity. I think that things will be better than how it is now.
How much longer would you want to be playing soccer for?
So far as my body tells me that I can still play, I'm still playing. The experience is there. It's not that you go to the pitch, you have to run 100 meters, 50 minutes. It's not like that. Look, Ryan Giggs, the guy is 38, but he's playing better than the 25 and the 24. I think if you take good care of yourself, I love training. I never sleep. I don't play with my training, and I take good care of myself. That's why still the energy is there. When it comes about football, players that they don't have quality, they suffer when they get to a certain age because when you are a quantity player is a player if you give him the ball, he doesn't have the skills, the technique is not there. So what he uses is his strength. So when you get to a certain level or a certain age, because you are not technically, you are not that good, when they give you the ball, the people notice that, oh, it's not good anymore. But see Ryan Giggs, see Paul Scholes, he retired, but Alex Ferguson went to tell him that, my friend, come back, you can still play. He came back and